kind of has easy access to a third base now too, because there's no link presence on the map to flank, to counter. So losing those links was a little bit sloppy there for IdrA, and he shouldn't really have engaged there, to be honest. But meanwhile, the third command center will be lifted up and going down to that third base on the lower pocket expansion very, very shortly. And he will want to take double gases almost immediately. He's gone double engineering bay as well, Select, so really focusing heavily on his upgrades.
Yeah, and we've got another expansion up to the top right here for IdrA as well. And now that he has the Mutalisks on the field, that's where he feels comfortable to expand in a major fashion, knowing that he can deny drops, knowing that he can harass and force Select to stay in his base. We've got a lot of Marines on the field for Select here and a couple of tanks, but just going to sit on 2 bases and perhaps grab that third once he eventually moves his orbital command out. It's been sitting in the base for a good number of minutes now. Select doesn't want to risk it. He saw how many command centers were denied on Tal'Dorei and Malta, so he doesn't want a repeat of that. Yeah,
I mean, if he tries to take a third base right now, he's kind of too spread out against Mutalisk. He has to run from the third to the natural to the main to the third to the natural to the main over and over and over. And IdrA's really good at, with his control of Mutalisk. He's also very intelligent of where to go and where not to go to. And seeing this really compact base of Selects, he can't really achieve anything. And with Mutalisk in this matchup, you have to do some form of harassment. Otherwise, the Terran army is just going to go too large, and the timing attack from defending against Mutalisk is going to be a lot stronger than usual.
Yes, it will. And IdrA's not really been able to do too much damage with this just yet. He does have a total of 15 mutas. He's trying to join up with the pack here, get a large enough number to start cracking down missile turrets, start going in, sweeping down, killing siege tanks, and being able to get out there without taking any losses, and of course deny refineries as well, which could be quite critical because Select is only sitting on 2 bases, only got access to 4 gas, not able to kill that. A nice response there by Select. And how do you get into a base that is so well fortified and so small?
Yeah, you can't. That's a thing. But at the same time, it's not a bad thing that you can't, because he is at the same time expanding everywhere. Select's economy is limited because he is only on 2 bases right now, and he is going to try and take this. IdrA tries to scrape that medivac but doesn't quite get it. Third base is going to come up now, but at the same time, look at IdrA's ground army. He has so many bailings. He doesn't have bailing speed. He has skipped that, getting more Mutalisk than normal. He will need to invest that 150 gas into that very, very shortly.
Yeah, Select's got the Zelnaga tower there, so he has some degree of warning and thinks, well, you know what, this doesn't seem like a good idea at all. I'm just going to move out and I'm going to fortify. I'm going to play very, very passively, because what choice does he really have at the moment? He's got a lot of Mutalisks from his opponent that could aggressively deny drops. His opponent has good map vision of his side of Shakuras Plateau, so getting any real harassment in will be difficult. He looks to try and build up a large army, max out, and then push out for a decisive push.
And nice defense once again from Select. The centrifugal hooks, now the bailing speed is being researched, but this muta count is getting relatively scary. It is at 22 now, 4 more in production, and this is the time where he can start taking small squads, but smartly Select realizes that he can pull a lot more units out. His third base is pretty much fortified now. There are so many tanks there. There is nothing that can come rolling into that, and if IdrA tried, he would waste a lot. The really smart thing here from Select is he's saving all his mules and throwing them on the third base, but he can lose a lot here if he doesn't defend it. And that basically makes the main and the natural survive that much longer if you mule only on your third expo.
Yeah, definitely. Otherwise, you end up getting massively mined out there very, very quickly, and then you wonder, well, what am I going to do with these spare SCVs? I can't mine with them. They are not doing anything useful. It's all about efficiency in that regard. Now, IdrA just backing off. Doesn't want to get intercepted by Select's Marine Force here, but continuing just to poke and prod and find out exactly where his opponent is. Then goes for the infestation pit as well, a smart play considering the number of Marines. That's quite a few Mutalisks that were taken out there, at least 3 or 4. Select able to do some reasonable damage there. That said, IdrA was almost maxed anyway and is floating 2,500 minerals, so yeah. I don't think he's too worried about that.
Infestation pit going down a little bit later than usual in this game. Should have gone down a lot earlier, so his kind of later hive tech is a little bit delayed here. But look at this. Select is going to get ready. He's going to start to try and take the center of the map. But oh my god, that is so many lings and bailings here.
99 in fact. Oh dear. Let's see how this one goes. There's a lot of tanks, though. I wouldn't want to charge into that.
And Mutas in the main base as well, doing a lot of damage to Select's economical line.
Oh, yes, and we're going to have a look at it right there. 13 workers killed total, and that really does matter quite a little bit on a 3-base economy. You don't want to be losing workers that rapidly. It doesn't matter how good mules are. You can keep losing SCVs at that pace, and it's not going to help you out one little bit. Good Mutalisk harassment right there by IdrA. Just waiting. Very patient to engage.
And look at that, the Marines are so low. IdrA's like, screw this, let's
go for it.
And kills them all, actually.
Well,
and,
that's
a lot of
unfortunate.
SCVs down as well.
Yep, and IdrA not taking too many losses there. SeleCT forced to bring back yet more. That refinery is going to go down as well. So once again, delaying just a little bit of gas, reducing the number of mechanized units. Speaking of mechanized units, we're sitting on 10 tanks at the moment and 56 Marines.
And a lot of Mutalisks are about to pop now. He's very, very heavy in that. And let's have a look at the anti-air. There's only a single Thor. A lot of Marines, though, at decent upgrades. 2-2 is so close to finishing. If IdrA attacks before, that would be fantastic. He's going to try and deny this 4th base, that's for sure. But if these 2-2 upgrades finish for SeleCT, that's going to help out so much in any engagement.
Yes, it very much will. The +2 upgrade for attack is complete, but the +2 armor is not. So these Zerglings are a little bit fragile in comparison to the forces of SeleCT, who's also got 5 medivacs out as well. IdrA continues harassment and pushing this creep all the way across. Looking to perhaps even take a 6th base up to the top. And once again, we're seeing the IdrA that is seemingly unharassable.
Indeed, and he's coming into the main base once again. This squad of Marines is being pushed to their limits, and a medivac does go down actually there. And a lot of damage these mules are causing in the main base, and Ling's on the 3rd as well.
Yep, some damage being done there to the economy of SeleCT. And once again, on 3 bases, you can't afford to lose that. He's only on 38 SCVs, and IdrA's on 80 drones.
And the difference between, this is almost a mirror game of SeleCT versus dApollo. The big difference is IdrA's harassment is exceptional.
Oh, Tank's going to get caught out of position right here. Big engagement coming in. I don't want to go anywhere near that. Screw this. That's a lot of tanks.
And SeleCT needs to fortify this 4th base. It's not a planetary fortress. He doesn't have the gases taken yet. So it's going to be really hard to continue with ghost production, because that's what he does want to slowly move into now.
Yeah, he needs it in order to deal with the Broodlords that might end up coming, and of course will come very, very soon. And I have to wonder if he's going to be able to get enough ghosts out. He is producing 4 at a time, and also going for +3 upgrades on that as well. And SeleCT is starting to do what Terran tend to on this map. Admittedly a little bit later than usual because of IdrA's excellent harassment thus far, and that's to start cutting the map down the middle. Thor's firing large numbers of missiles into the middle of that group of mutas and almost taking that hatchery down. A siege tank shot goes off, and this is the slow crawl across Shakuras Plateau, and that is a base denied.
Yeah, and this is going to be pretty tough for IdrA now. Like I said, this is when bases start to go down. He can hardly hold a 5th base at all in this match anymore. And ghosts are on the way to deal with these Broodlords. IdrA is going to march with these Broodlords into the center of the map while harassing the 3rd base once again. But SeleCT already slightly prepared for an attack in the main, but not the 3rd.
Not the 3rd, no. And a lot of damage being inflicted there. Sandwiching between those 2 forces is SeleCT. And this Broodlord attack, however, on the front line, SeleCT doesn't really have anything to deal with that right now and is being forced backwards. And here comes the charge across the map, right here by IdrA, but a large siege deployment prevents that from happening.
Yeah, Mobius Reactor, I'm quite sure, has been forgotten yet, has not been researched. These ghosts have minimal energy. They can't really cloak. He doesn't have cloak either, of course. They do have a couple of snipes each, but not that much to take down all these Broodlords. And IdrA has to try and hold a 5th base. He needs the gas income to keep up the higher tech, because with only minerals, he can basically only make Zerglings, and that's not going to be useful against his higher tech Terran army. Mulis are coming around to start harass the space. Oh no, the turrets are not constructed on this 4th base of SeleCT's.
Yeah, SeleCT is aware of that, but the question is that enough Marines? Well, IdrA's thinking it probably is, and then deciding, no, this is not worth the risk. It's a lot of gas you would throw away for that, and perhaps not worth the effort. Medivac moving across is missed by that Mutalisk pack.
And the army supply is 153 compared to 122. And this is simply because the amount of SCVs that have been harassed they're so low. There's only 47 at this stage of the game, which has naturally pushed SeleCT's army a lot stronger because of the lack of SCVs.
Here come the snipes, and several Broodlords taken down by that already. Siege tank shells going off and actually doing a lot of damage to his own forces there as the Broodlings force that to happen. Ooh. More damage done to the Broodlords. That takes it down to 3.
What is IdrA doing? He's just sitting there, not microing these whatsoever, and it's going to lose every single Broodlord.
Wow.
And I have no idea what IdrA was doing there. I mean, I understand the harassment of using the long range of Broodlords, but to lose them so easily there, that was a little bit sloppy there. Didn't even try to fungal growth these units. I guess he didn't really want to fungal growth because of the lack of units that actually was there, but still not moving them back in time was really bad.
Yeah, he landed a few fungals on the Ghost. The Ghost are now out of energy now, so that is useful certainly for IdrA if he's able to get in there with some Infestors or some Broodlords. He's got 5 Broodlords on the field right now. A big scan goes down, revealing 114 Zerglings prepared, and if he could catch Select out of position and he could destroy this army in the middle, that would be fantastic. One Thor goes down there, and slowly but surely prodding away. Broodlings mashing their way through, and here come the Banelings from the top. More Zerglings coming in, smashing his way through the center right here. Tank after tank goes down. Select being forced back here, but IdrA throwing a lot of resources into that. The thing is, he's still banked 3,500 minerals.
Yeah, the production of Select is not that high, to be honest. He's at 1,200 minerals, 1,200 gas, only building 12 Marines. Compared to the previous games we've seen him in this tournament, he is consistently building at least 16 Marines at a time, and it is showing in this game that he does not have enough production facilities to keep up this kind of production.
No, he really doesn't, and the Zerglings are taking their due right now, smashing their way through the center. The center has been lost for Select, which is crucial for any Terran player, and now IdrA has secured this base down to the bottom, can take those 2 bases here, and then start to apply pressure to the bases of Select as well. Things looking really nice for IdrA.
Yeah, I mean, things are looking nice for IdrA, but still the economy of Select, even though it is low, he still is doing okay. He hasn't lost anything recently, and Mulus in the middle of the map all go down. So many go down at 3-3 Marines. And like I was saying, the economy is still okay, so he will be able to rebuild slowly, but he's given IdrA access to this 5th and 6th gas, more importantly, of these bases.
Yeah, and he's going to need that if he's going to produce Broodlords at this speed and not just keep producing Zerglings over and over again. Breaking the center was perhaps the turning point in a matchup that so far has been fairly equal, with IdrA winning out in terms of his harassment there. We've got Select taking this base down to the bottom here as well, putting him on 5. The question is, however, how many mining bases is that? Not too many.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing okay at the moment. If he manages to get this base up without any Mulus harassment, that's in good position. And, oh, Select's got to be careful with the minimal units. He's doing so well with his snipes.
Oh, yeah, he's taking out Broodlord after Broodlord here. That one escapes with a single hit point, and IdrA slowly edging his way forward, trying to catch units out of position, but Select being so careful.
Oh, there's so many more Broodlords being morphed in now because he's had access to this gas on this 5th and 6th base. He is morphing 4 more Broodlords, more Infestors as well, and it's going to get hard for Select.
Yes, it is, and a very, very brutal charge here. There's only 2 tanks here. He could actually just charge it. I think he realizes, and here it comes. Zergling stream across the map. The Fungals lock that down. He takes those 2 tanks out. Baneling detonations, clean them all out, driving him all the way back to his natural ramp.
Slowly but surely, the game of chess here is coming to an end, as the economy of Select is going to go down the toilet now, losing that 3rd base of his, and it looks like IdrA is more comfortable than ever before, and he's looking so well and convincing to take this series.
Yeah, he really, really is. This very, very strong, slow but steady and patient play there from IdrA. Some errors, but not enough to make him lose the game, and honestly, the complete denial of harassment's been so important this entire time. He's been able to harass. Select can't. The SCVs are extremely brave. They almost got the Infestor, but unfortunately they will be destroyed for their sins. Down they go, and IdrA with free reign just to destroy production facilities. Select continuing to hold on, but Broodlords forcing their way through here, actually undefended, and loses 1 to those Marines, but the army count of IdrA is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, and it looks like Select's finally going to fall down in this game. 78 supply to 159, and it was very, very important for IdrA to win this map, definitely in this series, because this is slightly Terran favored, and it is probably one of Select's strongest Terran versus Zerg maps as well. And going into the last 2 games, IdrA has room for error.
Yes, he does. And he will also, of course, gain the momentum and gain a little bit of confidence here. Not being so happy going into Shakuras, getting a win here will be crucial for him. Select continues to hang on, however. He's certainly not out of it yet. He's got 44 SCVs, which is actually about the amount he's had the entire game due to all of that harassment.
6 more Brulers being morphed in the center of the map. And what I really miss from Select in this game is, while holding the center of the map, I'm surprised he didn't try to harass the back bases of IdrA. Even though there are spine crawlers there, 3 Marines with a single medevac would take them down. The Mulus count was really low going into the late stage of this game as well. And that may have been a downfall also for Select. And the medevacs are kind of giving up as well, going into the center of the map alone. And now all these Brutals, the count currently is at 9. That is so many.
Yes, it is indeed, and they are well upgraded as well. A lot of damage coming in from them. Select will try and hold on to this third base, which is going to die very, very rapidly indeed. A few Marines are ripped apart, and GG.
And yeah, like I said, that's an important win for IdrA right there. A really important win. Going into the last 2 games, Antigua Shipyard, which is a tough map, again, for IdrA. But he's already stressed before this series went on. 2 maps that he liked to play on, the rest he didn't. But right now, he's got that advantage, 3-2 up in this series. Antigua Shipyard may be difficult for him. So having lost Shakuras Plateau, then going into Antigua Shipyard down, would have been tough for him. But now he's got that little advantage. He's got that little edge. And even if he does lose on this map, he has Terminus SE, the biggest map in the map pool, to really play a long, dramatic final game if he did lose on this map.
And we're getting a long dramatic series here, which I think is what everyone wanted. It could very well go to 7 games at this point. We're going to take a very short break, and when we come back, we'll be bringing you the next game of IdrA versus Select.